Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome out to Golfberry Marine Adventure Park. Now let's go ahead and make some noise today for our family of Atlantic Bottlenose Dolphins and their trainers. Excellent. Now my name is Kate and I'm going to be your host for today's presentation. So we're going to get started by introducing you guys to the true stars of today's show. We're going to start off in the center of our docks today, where we have 12-year-old Lily. She's going to be coming out doing some showing off out there.
See that, Mommy?
Very impressive out there, Lily, showing off a new behavior that she's working on called her back bow. Next up, I'm going to introduce you guys to Lily's mother. This is 41-year-old Delilah. She's going to be doing some showing off with her trainer out here. Excellent job, Delilah, making a little bit of a splash. And I'm sure you guys by now have noticed the third member of our family here in this habitat. Her name is Kaya. She is Lily's daughter, born on April 29th of this year, so she is almost 4 months older. Our family with yours, as we share about some of the skills and acts possess. It is our hope as you guys leave our park today, you'll actually go back into your own homes and communities and share about some of the dangers that marine mammals face in our world today. Now I'm going to go ahead and start our show by answering a question we get asked pretty often here, which is, how do you guys train all these amazing behaviors I'm seeing in your show? That's a great question. I'm going to answer it by breaking down a common show behavior called a back breach, or dolphin-style cannonball. So when we begin training any behavior, we break it down into small achievable steps, and we'll usually start with something easy called a target. Now Delilah is going to show off what this target is. It's when our dolphins touch their rostrum or our bottlenose beak to our open, flat palm. Now we can utilize this target hand, move it in a variety of directions. For example, we can move it in a circle to train something like Delilah's hula dance. Excellent job out there, Delilah. Or even simply up and down to train something like a head shake yes. Lily's showing this off for you guys. Now, if we even wanted to incorporate two target hands, we could train something like Lily's adorable jig. Excellent job out there, Lily. Now, for our back breach behavior, we're of course looking for our dolphins to get their entire body up and out of the water and making quite a bit of a splash out there. So what we'll do is we'll actually start using that target hand and asking for our dolphins to move their bodies in a backwards motion. Our girls will show off the beginning stages of this behavior. Now over time, we're going to raise our hand a little bit higher and higher out of the water while continuing to ask for that backwards motion that we're looking for. But I'm sure you guys have guessed, of course, at some point, our hand really isn't going to reach high enough, so we can incorporate something called a target pull, which just a few moments ago, one of our trainers were using that to train Lily's back breach. Now, of course, we can raise this pole higher and higher, up and out of the water until we've reached the height that we're looking for. Then we can begin to fade it out of the equation until we have our finalized dolphin-style cannonball. So I want you guys to go ahead and focus your attention out there in our center of our habitat. Delilah is going to be doing some showing off. Excellent job out there, Delilah, sharing some of her salt water. Now, a lot of people do wonder when we'll actually begin to start training Kaya. Well, believe it or not, we've actually already begun the training process with Kaya. And by now, you guys might have noticed we do have 3 trainers down here on our docks. Now, Kaya has shown us that she's interested in quite a few things, something such as toys or even a little bit of tactile. So throughout our show, what we're looking for is for her to be hanging out with this third trainer, as you guys can see, while she incorporates some of these toys into the equation, or maybe even a little bit of a rub.
What's the baby?
Now earlier you guys might have noticed that I did say these dolphins are mammals. It is not uncommon for many people to confuse them with fish. There's plenty of characteristics that make them mammals though, such as the fact that they breathe air, or even that they have hair the first few days of their lives. Now, to breathe air, dolphins do have an adaptation for this, and that is their blowhole located right there on top of their head. This blowhole is perfect for coming to the surface for a quick breath or diving back down to the ocean bottom. So if you guys listen carefully enough, you can hear the quickness of that breath. Excellent job out there, Lily and Delilah. Now, since we're already talking about that blowhole, I am going to mention something really interesting. That is the fact that dolphins do not have vocal cords like you and I. So any of those clicks, whistles, and sounds you guys hear throughout our show are actually coming from that blowhole as well. Excellent job out there, Delilah, coming out with a little bit of an encore as well. Sounds like a beautiful dolphin song for you guys up there. Now, some of the other characteristics, looks like Delilah's asking for a little bit more applause. I think we can give it to her. Now, of course, there are other characteristics that make our dolphins mammals. And that's, of course, the fact that they do give live birth to a dolphin calf, such as Kaya. And once they give birth to a calf, they will actually nurse this calf for the first few years of their lives. Now, earlier you guys might have noticed that I did say dolphins do have hair, but you guys might be wondering, hang on a second, I do not see any hairy dolphins down there. Well, you would be right, but dolphins actually do have hair in the form of whiskers on that rostrum or bottlenose beak when they are first born. However, they will lose these whiskers after the first few days of their lives. It's thought their purpose is to help a calf find its mother's mammaries. When you guys hear whiskers, though, you might think of another marine mammal here in our park, probably our sea lions. And if you've seen our sea lion show, or we'll check it out a little bit later, you'll notice they are famous for using those whiskers for a bit of a ball balancing behavior. Now, Lily and Delilah also know this ball balancing behavior, which is very impressive because they don't have any of those whiskers to help them out. They're just balancing that ball right there on that round rostrum. So go ahead, focus your attention out there in the center of our habitat. Looks like here comes Lily and Delilah.
Can you do that, Mommy? Yeah.
Very impressive out there, girls. Now I'm going to start talking about some of the other adaptations that dolphins have for their underwater residency. In particular, all those fins and flippers located on their bodies. So we're going to go ahead and have one of our stars come out today and show off all those fins and flippers, give you guys a closer look. We're going to go ahead and have Lily and Delilah show off their tandem bows. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like here comes Lily and Delilah.
Here we go, Mommy. You see that, Mommy? Whoa, Mommy.
Fantastic job out there. Now you might have noticed that dorsal fin located right there on top of their backs. This is the stabilizer of our dolphins, much like a keel on a boat. Looks like Delilah's giving you guys a great look at that here in the center. Now, something interesting about the dorsal fin is it actually does not have any bones in it. It's just made up of a connective tissue. Moving down along onto either sides of our dolphins' bodies. Next, we're going to take a look at those pectoral flippers.
Ready?
Now our stars are going to be showing those off in their own individual ways. Looks like Delilah is going ahead and getting a little bit of a dance from her trainer. Now these pectoral flippers are, of course, perfect for getting a little bit of a dance or even waving hello to you guys out there. But they allow our dolphins to make those lightning quick stops and sudden turns they are famous for. Now you guys might have noticed also I said that there was a dorsal fin and not flippers like the pectoral flippers, because pectoral flippers actually do have bones in them. If we were to look at them under an x-ray, we would notice 5 digits, much like our own hands and feet. Last but not least, we're going to take a look now at those tail fins or tail flukes. Now when Delilah comes and shows them off with her dolphin style wave, feel free to wave back at her out there.
She's waving. Wave at her.
Connected to these fins are really strong muscles running up the length of the peduncle or the powerhouse of our dolphins, which of course allows them to quickly swim around or even leap up out of the water to check out those surroundings. Now to show off the power of this peduncle muscle, we're going to have Delilah come out and do a bit of a hoop jump behavior. She's going to be showing off not only the power of this peduncle muscle, but giving you guys another great look at all those fins and flippers. So you guys can go ahead and focus your attention across the pool, or we're going to be having our hoop if you'd like to get your cameras and cell phones focused on that hoop. It looks like here comes Delilah.
Here she comes, Bobby. Watch.
Beautiful job out there, Delilah. Well, earlier I talked a little bit about how we train all of our behaviors, but now we're going to go a little bit more in depth about why we train. Now we have a very lucky member of our audience. Her name is Morgan. She is going to be our animal doctor today, so let's give her a big warm welcome. All right, Morgan, you can go ahead and kneel down right here on this blue mat. Perfect. Now, of course, we cannot take our dolphins to the vet clinic every day. That'd be a pretty difficult task. However, every morning when we come in here to Golfarium, we do something called a physical examination, where we can take a great look over our dolphins' bodies by asking them to, of course, lay out so we can take a great look at them. Now, of course, if we occasionally find something called rake marks, and these just occur when dolphins use their mouths to play and communicate with each other, because of course, they don't have hands and feet to communicate like we do. Now I'm looking down here at Delilah, and I think she looks pretty good. What do you think, Dr. Morgan? Does Delilah look good for us? Yeah, she agrees. Now I know you're giving Delilah a little bit of a rub there. I'm sure a lot of people in our audience are wondering, what did you think that Delilah felt like, Morgan? She felt rubbery. Yeah, that's a great description. A lot of people say they think dolphins feel like rubber. They're very soft and smooth. Now for the last portion of our physical exam, what we're going to do is take a look at Delilah's tail fins or tail flukes. Now when we do this layout, it might not look very impressive, but this is actually the most important behavior we can train any of our dolphins here at Golfarium, because, well, this is where we obtain a voluntary blood sample if needed. Now, of course, we don't take blood every day, but when we do, maybe about once a month or so, and what we're looking for in this layout is for Delilah to remain very relaxed and calm for us, which I think she's done a pretty excellent job out there. So Morgan, what do you think? Yeah, you guys can give her a round of applause. Good job, Delilah.
You want a drink?
So Morgan, what do you think we can give Delilah to tell her she's doing such a fantastic job for us? Fish, you are exactly right. So Emily's going to hand you a fish, but before we toss it to her, I want you to hold it up for our audience to see today. And you're our expert, so let's tell everyone what kind of fish that is. She's not sure. Okay, I'm going to help you out, Morgan. That right there is a dead fish. But it's her favorite. When she flips around, you can go ahead, toss it right there in her mouth. Perfect. All right, Morgan, there is one last thing we're going to have you do today. I want you to smell your hands. Oh, she's not sure about it because she knows they smell pretty fishy. Yep. All right, well, don't worry. We've actually perfected the trainer trick that we have made here to get rid of that smell. So I want you to copy after me, okay? All right, we're going to rub our hands together. Wave them up in the air, kind of air them out. And then just go ahead and wipe them on your pretty little shorts. Oh, she's too smart for me. I'm just kidding, Morgan. You can rinse your hands off here in the water, and that smell's going to come off in about 4 weeks. All right, well, Morgan did an excellent job being our honorary veterinarian. Let's give her a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, it is obvious that our primary focus here at the Golfarium is for the health and well-being of dolphins.